All right, I'm just going to do a hopefully quick video on this topic that I just started going over in my head. And the topic is desire and how the various ways in which it can be used in your favor or against you. Now, um, we're living in an environment today, obviously, that's, it's media saturated. Media is ubiquitous and we're always plugged in. So we're constantly being fed all of these images of what would constitute pleasure or satisfaction or contentment in various aspects of life. And so we imbibe these things and we digest them and they become part of us. And the thing is that I think like from a young age and when you're kids always they know what they're interested in and they know what they're curious about, and they usually know what they want to go after. And I think that we all kind of have that intrinsically, but over the process of life and over time, we're given so many different conflicting aspirations, and it's always backed up by some kind of social currency. And when we see things in media, whether we're receiving it through entertainment or advertising or news, we have this perception that because we're seeing it through those channels, there must be some kind of consensus on this, or that this is the opinion of the social groups, and therefore there must be truth to it, and maybe there is some truth to it, and in many cases, I'm sure there is, but there are many parties out there, let's say, who are interested in hooking your attention and to getting you to externalize your sense of value and worth, and to take over your own ideas of what might constitute contentment or satisfaction or pleasure or anything like that in your own life. And they're often tied to deep instincts within us, the sexual one being, one in particular that they like to hook onto, right? And, you know, um, I think that there's always potential for you to craft your own narrative and to focus on the things that you are in complete control over, in terms of bringing what you want to bring into your life. If you can block out all of those external influences and those external representations of what would constitute, oh, I want to go out after, this, amount of wealth or income, or this house, or have this property, or have this thing, or this, certain physical attributes, and all these other things that are all you're bombarded with. I think everybody's bombarded with, right? And if you can block those out and you can focus on an internal representation of things actually working out in your favor. Like, for example, if you wanted a great relationship, you wouldn't focus. I mean, I think that the best thing to do would be not to focus on those things that are out of your control, because there's always going to be somebody who has, like, oh, they're going to have a better body than you, or they're going to have this thing or that thing, or they're going to be richer than you, or they're going to be more clever than you, or whatever the case may be, right? Those things you have absolutely no control over. And if you base your whole worth and your whole attainment on those things, then you're actually being used just as a tool. And that is the outcome that you're going to have in your life. But if you can imagine, for example, in the relationship example, somebody who will value you for your attributes and for who you are intrinsically as a person, there's a much deeper connection for one, and it'll be a much more meaningful connection. And and everything that you imagine is just as plausible and just as attainable as those things that that everybody represents as you having to have in order to attract somebody, right? Except with your focus on those things, you won't be distracted by all those other inputs. You will focus your mental energies, and you'll focus your neurology, and you'll focus your pattern recognition on actually bringing that outcome to fruition for yourself, which, like I said, I mean, who's like, why is that not as possible as, oh well, if I had, $1 million, then I would get this. Okay, you might get something out of that, but would it be something that's really worth having anyway, right? And you really have to look at, if there's an external locus of control, in terms of determining your own self-worth or value. Is that really an outcome that you want? Is there just as much pain there, or is that actually intrinsically painful, having to base everything on that? Because once you have it, I mean, whatever thrill or whatever satisfaction you get out of it is like extremely fleeting, and then the rest of the time, well, once you get the thrill of attainment, or the thrill of, whatever experience you get out of it, then you're paranoid about, okay, well, obviously, if this was the only value that I had, there's going to be like a million other opportunities for, in a relationship context, as we're talking about, for this person to find something better in somebody else, along the same lines, right? So yeah, I mean, that's just, a few thoughts of mine. They probably come out a little bit jumbled, but I'm just ad-libbing here, right? But so I think it's very, very, very important to understand what you intrinsically want, and to shut out all the noise, and just realize that the noise is just noise. It's not the truth. Maybe there's a bunch of half truths to what is proposed in them, but it's not something that needs to reign over you. It's not something that needs to control your attention and control your life. You have that control, and you can have whatever you want, based on your own intrinsic value and qualities, if you focus on those. So those are just my thoughts for today. I'm sure it didn't end up actually being a short video. Yeah, we're over 8 minutes, so that's pretty typical. But anyway, much love to all of my viewers, whoever you may be. I really do appreciate you if you're watching this, and anyway, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and New Year's. I'll probably be doing another video or two before then, so talk to you later.